Welcome everyone once again to this new edition of Market Simplified. I am Milan Vaishnav. In this edition, we will talk about one US listed stock that is Home Depot, the symbol of which is HD. As this stock has presented an excellent opportunity for a short to medium term investment perspective. Before we move ahead, some more points on this stock. This stock, HD, is one of the 30 stocks of which Dow Jones Industrial Index average is made up of. So it's one of the constituents of the Dow 30 stocks, and because of this, obviously, it's going to be the part of S&P 500 index as well. This stock has declined along with all rest of the frontline indexes as well. But of late, some signs on the charts have appeared, which uh, which hint at a likely formation of a bottom in this stock, which qualifies it for accumulation at either the current levels or with each decline that we might get in future. We on chartwizard.ae, we publish a monthly newsletter, Chart in Focus. This talk we have covered in this month's newsletter as well. You will be able to access this on chartwizard.ae. Chartwizard.ae. On the home page, if you will scroll down, you will find the recent blog post here, and if you click on the first one, it will lead to this article. Home Depot have been selected because of multiple reasons. The mainstay being the technical one, of course. This is the a performance chart of HD and S&P 500. It has all throughout the last year, all throughout this year. This is a YTD basis performance chart. Both S&P 500 and HD have declined, and HD have declined more than the SPX. So in a way, it has continuously, almost for the major part of this year, it has relatively underperformed the broad S&P 500 index. A look at the YTD basis shows that while S&P 500 has lost close to 21%, SD has lost a third of its value, that is nearly 33.7%. However, there are a couple of technical evidences present on the chart that suggest that the stock might have put its potential bottom in place. Let's move on to take a look on the price charts. But before that, let's take its relation vis-a-vis the broader S&P 500. Although we have seen that for the bulk part of the year, the stock has largely underperformed in 2022 vis-a-vis the S&P 500 index. But if we take a look at the broader picture, the RS line against S&P 500 index has been largely rising. But of late, over the last couple of quarters, it has remained sideways. It has remained sideways and has failed to offer us any usable cues regarding the relative performance. So, except the most current phase, that is that of 2022, largely this stock has relatively outperformed the S&P 500 index, except for the last year and a half, where it has been more or less sideways, with the most recent trend being on the downside. Let's move on to the daily chart of HD. Over the last couple of months, say in fact close to a quarter, the stock has been in a declining trajectory. It's been under a falling channel. However, more important to note is that towards the end of 2021, it made a multiple tops near $420, near 420 levels, and after failing to move past that level, it has been under a consistent corrective decline. So in a way, from the high point seen near 420 levels, the stock has lost close to a third of its value. As of the most recent low seen was near 260 to 65 levels, and that translates into a loss of close to 36% from its peak. However, despite the fact that the stock has been under a declining trajectory or a falling channel, It is extremely important to note that the RSI has never gotten oversold. Not only that, because of this, it has resulted into a strong bullish divergence of RSI against the price on the daily chart. This is the daily chart we are looking at. So in a way, we can fairly say that the stock can be making a very hard attempt to put a bottom in place. Moving on to the higher time frame weekly chart. This has got a similar formation, obviously that goes without saying, from the highest high that is close to 420 levels, even on the, we see the same amount of fall that we saw on the daily chart, only that the size of the chart is, size of that fall is little less because of the higher time frame and more amount of data included. But the most important thing here is that we'll come to this part later, but the similar bullish divergence of RSI that was seen on the daily chart is seen on the weekly chart as well. So that's very important formation, that when the lead indicators start diverging in a bullish way, in a positive way, the success rate of the stock finding its potential bottom goes very high. What I'm trying to explain is that the potency of such situation is quite good, quite high, and in majority of the cases, it leads the stock towards finding its potential bottom. Importantly, the stock is also very near to its 200 week moving average that remains under at 262 levels. So long as the stock is able to keep its head above 260 levels, there are higher chances that it might see some technical pullback over the coming weeks. More importantly, the stock has also moved inside the improving quadrant of the RRG. Here it is benchmarked against the broader S&P 500 index, and the moment when any stock or any instrument goes inside or rolls inside the improving quadrant, the interpretation of such technical development is that it has put its consolidation phase to an end, it has put its corrective phase in an end, and more likely a phase of relative outperformance might have begun. However, we will need a confirmation on the price front because of this. So if the technical so if the present technical structure resolves on the expected lines, I mean, if the stock keeps its head above 260 levels, if the 200 DMA, 200 week moving average is not violated, then this stock qualifies for a buy either at the current levels, or even if all with all the minor declines that it might see, if at all the markets remain weaker. However, if the present levels are respected, then we can fairly expect the stock to test 325 to 340 levels over the coming weeks, or over the coming a couple of months at least, because this is from a short to medium term horizon. However, while we go out and take this call, we need to keep in mind that any close below 240 will negate this view and will lead to a trigger of a stop loss. So with each decline until 240, this stock may be bought, this stock may be accumulated, but close before any close below 240 levels will negate this view. For anyone who is not aware, I would like to draw their kind attention is that, since even though I am discussing a US stock, it is also targeted towards the Indian audience as well. You don't need to be out of India to have access to the world markets. You being a resident in India, you can invest in equities abroad under RBI's LRS, that is liberalized remittance scheme. And if you are not aware of this, or you wish to open such account, you can reach out to your respective brokers who will help you do that. So I think we covered this talk, and we expect that this stock will turn out to be a good investment bet from short to medium term horizon. So I'll be back again with such actionable idea once again. So until then, stay tuned and stay subscribed to this channel. Don't forget to like and leave your comments below this. So this is Milan Vaishnav signing off again, and I hope to see you soon again over the coming days.